Something a little bit exciting that's going on. I have got a mattress rack order which we're going to place with a company in China to display all the mattresses in both Stretford and hopefully the new showroom. Now it is quite a large order, so I've decided I'm going to head out to have a look at the factory, make sure I'm happy with the quality. So at the moment I'm just trying to arrange a visa. I've got a meeting with the Chinese embassy in Manchester on Wednesday. I do need to get Dayton to give the company a call. He's obviously fluent in Chinese and my Chinese is not very good. I basically need to get an invitation letter from the company, take that with me to the embassy, and hopefully they will accept everything, and then we can book the flights and I'll be off to China.
就是说明他是过来看你们的产品，可以吗？
可以的。
可以的。Sorry, James. Just the letter, the information. Just need your name, the company.
Yeah, so I need a letter saying that they are inviting me out to China.
Yeah.
To come and visit their factory.
Yeah.
And it needs to have all of my details on it. It needs to have all of their details on it. I've never been to China before, so I'm very excited. So hopefully that all goes to plan. Got a bit of a build-up in the warehouse of stock that needs to be photographed and needs to go over to the showroom that's already been photographed. We are just going to try and clear some of this stock on the cheap onto Facebook. Obviously, we were planning to move a lot of the stock over to the new showroom whenever that's ready. Instead of having a huge backlog, we're just going to clear some of it out. So Jeremy, if you come with me. Paris set in the leather. There was an issue with one of the base cushions. It's a little bit curved, so I'd rather not send it to the showroom. We'll just try and get our money back on that one on Facebook. Both pink corners. Pink usually takes a little bit longer to sell, and they are both massive. So we've got the Darcy 3 and 2. They had already been over to the showroom, but there was an issue with the fabric on it, so we sent them back. So we have just had another lorry in from DFS on Friday. All the lads are going to unpack all of this today. We're back at the Stretford showroom. We're carrying on with our refurb here. Today we've got some new signage coming on the front door. Basically, previously we had just a clear, transparent door with a small bit of signage on there stating our opening times, and that's the entrance. Now we're going a bit bigger, bolder, full sticker over the window with our brand colours, information about us, information about finance offering. It gives a more professional look when people enter, and it's about cleaning up the front part of the building, which people see. I like it, it's good. But these pillars need to be stripped back, painted that blue as well. Series today starting on the shutter. Obviously we painted the inside of the shutter the internal blue. The outside we've got different paint for this. We finished off the container out the front as well. And then also today he's painting more of these white lines for the parking. I'm not 100% keen on them. We like the information that's obviously very visible now. However, I'm a little bit worried it doesn't really look like a main entrance anymore. Now we are hoping once we add like a main entrance sign, it might look a little bit better. I agree. I don't like how closed off it looks now. The information's good, the sign's good colour, it's bold, couldn't have come out much better. Just doesn't look as much of a main entrance anymore. And then internally it's very dark as well, which is a bit of a problem. It's Wednesday morning. I have a bit of an important day ahead of me. I've got to head over to the Chinese visa application place in the centre of Manchester, just to hand in all of my documents. So hopefully all goes to plan.
We've got some recruitment going on today. Not quite the typical recruitment that you'd think of. We've tried that. We've tried using Indeed, platforms like that, Facebook, etc., to try and recruit people for a warehouse, and just not getting any applicants, or the few applicants that we're getting don't turn up for interviews or have bad driving records, which means they can't obviously drive the vans. So yeah, we're struggling to find people, which is pretty crazy, but it is what it is. We are going down to Market Street, which is probably the busiest street in Manchester, sitting down with a sofa there. It's Jeremy, the warehouse manager, and James, and an interview basically random. We don't know who exactly we're going to get, but we'll find out later today.
Hi, I'm Jeremy. I look after the warehouse, turning stock like this into stock like this. Every morning when I come in, I check through where each of the teams are up to with their particular tasks. The stock that's more recently come in, that obviously needs cleaning, it needs QC checking, it needs some small repairs, things like legs, base cloths, that sort of thing. So prep a lot of that, ready for the team to get cracking with that. Moving stock across for our photography team to be able to photograph it, to be able to identify the pieces that are ready for photography. A lot of people think of a boss's role as being the boss in charge of teams of people. We kind of see it more as helping the teams achieve what they need to achieve during the day. The major problem that we've got at the moment is getting the right staff into the business. We're looking for drivers over 30 who have experience of driving larger commercial vehicles. Also people that are keen to get their hands dirty and roll their sleeves up and get stuck into it. So we've just arrived in beautiful Manchester. Sun is shining a little bit, which makes it a nice day. We're going to be taking this beautiful couch out onto Market Street and seeing if we can recruit some people to work in our warehouse.
The sofa's set up. We've had a couple of early biters, but no one with a clean driving record yet. So we'll hold on for another 30-45 minutes and see if we get any takers.
29, but he doesn't drive. He's got no driving license.
Doesn't drive again. Bloody hell. So we just got this lad here. He's a little bit younger, so he's not going to be able to be a driver. However, we are still looking for some warehouse staff, and he looks like he will potentially fit the bill. So he's going to give us his details, and he's going to come for an interview at Altrincham next week.
How's it going so far?
It's not going to plan. We're a little bit rushed. We've only got about 45 minutes to get people. We've had maybe 5 or 6 so far, but none of them drive. And unfortunately, we're looking for a driver, so we'll keep trying.
James has just headed off. We've had a really interesting day, met some interesting people, maybe 1 or 2 for the warehouse, sit down and go through some CVs later, and hopefully we'll be letting somebody have some good news.
It's pretty high. I think getting down's actually going to be worse. This is a bad idea. Get up here. Right, see, we're on top of our Stretford showroom roof here. As you can see in the background, there's some work going on to our roof. We're replacing some of these clear translucent panels here, which were leaking previously. Now we're going to start putting bedroom furniture upstairs, even more important with mattresses that they're protected from leaks, etc. I think it'll take them a day or 2. 2 days? How long do you think it's going to take? About 2 days to replace these panels, and then we'll be good to go. How the f does he get down that?
Right. Good.
Not a fan of this.
Grab your top of your ladder now.
Roofing's not for me. Roofing is not for me at all. These are the new polos that have just come in from China. It's taken about 3 weeks to arrive, but they're finally here. Like them?
I like the buttons, looking pretty smart.
Nice breathable golf material, really.
Do love myself a golf top.
I think you'll find
Colour
that you
looks quite
are
good.
a 6XL.
Ah, well, it looks like that one's going to be a better one for me. It's quite nice.
So is this just the showroom team or just the sales staff? Nice and presentable to customers, obviously, who are trying to buy sales from us. We will get something a bit more functional for the warehouse team, and we also actually need to order more winter attire, so like a quarter zip or a sweatshirt or something for the showroom staff as well, because this is quickly become too cold for them, but at least they all have the same matching blue collar coming out.
Yeah, I think the drivers need to be looking smarter sooner as well, so I don't know if you want to consider giving the drivers some, or if you've got something in mind.
But maybe something a bit more fluorescent would be nice for them. A bit more warehousey, do you know what I mean, on the roads. There's 5 for you.
One for every day of the week.
Thursday morning, and I'm in our new polo. Looking fine, may I say. We have a fair few things to do today. Dayton's going to finalise what we need to order for the container that's being converted to a food truck. Only really got next week to do that, so quite time sensitive in that sense. The roofs should be finalised today.
So obviously we get a big variety of repairs that need doing, especially when it comes to the DFS lorries that we receive. There's really good money to be made on them. A lot of the stock that comes in is perfect. However, every load we will get maybe 5 or 10 sofas that have got a bit of damage. Some which we can maybe reject because the damage is beyond what we can repair, so it's unsellable. Alternatively, if we think it's something that we can fix, we will do, and we'll just keep it. We'll send it over to the long repair bay, and either our staff will see to it and put it into a sellable condition. We've got the Baxley 3-seater sofa here, and it's a manual recliner. To the eye, this sofa looks absolutely fine. So when we've checked it, on this right-hand seat, there is actually a loose cable. So what we don't want is to sell the sofa, a customer then gets it for a month or 2, and then they've got a broken recliner. We have ordered the part in that we need. This will get fixed as soon as the part arrives. We've got the Studio Motion 3-seater footrest recliner. Now with this one, the only real issue that we got is that they didn't send the legs. As it has a reclining footrest, we have to make sure the leg height is spot on. We've measured, we're going to need exactly 16 centimetres centimetre high legs. So we're going to put an order in of legs for these. They should arrive in the next 24, 48 hours, and that's a really easy fix. We have this new Navona red leather lift and rise power chair. As you can see on both the interiors of the arms, there's some pretty major leather damage. When it comes to leather damage that sort of size, it's almost impossible to do a repair. I am going to reject this from the supplier. We'll strip it for parts, and then unfortunately it's going to have to go to the skip. Nice grey wingback style armchair with a button back detailing. There is a bit of a hole where the fabric has come away from the seam. Fortunately, we have a really good upholsterer working for us. He will make that look almost invisible. The ID cards are really, really important for us. With the ID cards, it will have a brief description of the name of the item, have a code for the supplier that it's arrived from. Obviously, we have different suppliers. If there is ever a problem later down the line, it's much easier for us to find the issue if we know which supplier it's come from. It'll also have an invoice number. There's also a measurement section, and then if there's any quality issues, that will be noted down on here. And there'll also be a quality check on the back side of the card where the photographer will just do a final check that he's happy with the legs, that it's 100% clean, that there's no electrical issues, and that the base is looking good. We don't want them visible when we're doing the photo shoots. With this zinc one, we're just going to hit the seam right in the corner, and that is the next 3 already done. One of the other consistent repairs that we've got to do on an almost daily basis is when there's an issue with the dust sheet on the base of the sofa. We always check the dust sheets. If there are any sort of slight tears, we'll just put a new dust sheet on. It only takes 5 minutes, so it's not a major issue. As you can see with this one here, sofa looks perfectly fine until you see the base sheet. There are 2 rips in here. First of all, we've cut a nice big piece of fabric, overlaps both sides of the sofas. We'll just do a simple fold. The key is when we put our first staple in, we'll always put the staple right in the center of each side and apply the first staple. The reason we put it in the middle, this just stops any sort of creases. We'll get a nice even fold and we will apply the next staple. Happy with that. Next up, we're going to hit the corner sections. Number 4. The fabric's looking pretty neat. I'm just going to run around now and just fill out with all the rest of the staples. So that's the base done. As you can see, it's very neat. There's no loose fabric. Last thing that we need to do is just put the legs back in. That is how simple and easy it is to apply a new base. Anything that's got a small tear or any loose fabric, we'll just get a new dust sheet put on the base. So as I've sort of built this business from scratch, all of these sort of repairs or seen sofas cleaning, we've already done all of that, myself and Joe, when we first started. So I certainly still like to get involved. Don't get me wrong, I don't have time to spend all my day doing repairs, but I'm not an office job sort of person. Joe prefers to be sat in the office on his computer talking to whoever he needs to talk to. I'm not like that. I like to be a little bit more involved, a little bit more hands-on. Sometimes I'll spend, even if it's just half an hour every day, I'll get involved with the lads, I'll do some lifting and I'll do some repairs if need be. So we're just on our way to see Pete in Eccles, one of our suppliers. We'll hopefully pick 8 to 10 sofas and get selling. You shouldn't have to pay for any of this because it's going to cost you a fortune to skip it. There's literally absolutely nothing here.
There's a few bit of 2-seater with no backs. Half a cord corner.
So what have you actually got that you can sell this whole load?
Well, there's a few bits. There's a few, you know, these bits are sofas.
They keep giving these Cormac corners out. I never used to get them. Fortunately with this is where we can sort of take a slightly more limited amount of stock. So when I've not got space to take a full lorry, I can come here and just pick up a few pieces instead. Now, I was meant to take one of these lorries actually this week, but I was running out of space in the warehouse, so Pete said he'd take it for me. And he's been absolutely shafted because it's one of the worst loads I've ever seen. He's been sent loads of odd parts and a load of rubbish, so it's pretty much all going to go to the skip, which we wouldn't have been happy with if we got. So I'm going to have a little rummage around and see if there's anything I can find that we would want. There's a couple, but I need to do some digging. Oh, we got one of them last week. I love that. That Ilkley. That's quite nice. Chilling. Right, 1, 2, 3. Belair, we'll take that one. They always sell. I'll take the 3-seater. Yeah, I'll take whatever that is. I think it's an Ozark. I'll take the Venezia 2-in-1. Cool. So I've just finished it in Eccles. We've picked up a nice couple of sofas. I'm actually very glad that we didn't take the lorry as it had a lot of odd sofa parts. So we would have had to have rejected about 70 or 80% of it anyway, which we certainly didn't really have the manpower for at the moment, as we'd have to take it all to the skip. So I'm glad that Pete took it for us. We've got another lorry booked now next Friday instead, and he's just going to deliver us about a van's worth of sofas, which I just chose, next Tuesday. Thanks for watching this week's episode. We hope you enjoyed. Make sure to tune in next week, where I'm going to be heading over to China to check on the mattress rack production. We're going to have a look at some other big warehouses to see how they deal with operational issues, and we're going to see how the food truck is coming along. Make sure to like, comment and subscribe down below, and we will see you next week.
So these are the action shots of these.
What's arrived here?
It's still fat. I can't
What?
do this.
Ah, the new polos have arrived. It's looking good, lads. What the hell? Oh, these the new polos that arrived. See? Oh, what are these?
You can't.
You can't laugh anymore. You can't do it. I'm an actor.